Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles. I'm delighted to be joined by Xinyi, who is literally in Shanghai. We're LA to Shanghai today, which is so exciting. And we can't wait to talk about her fantastic movie, Kindling. But for those that haven't seen it, let's take a look at the clip.
Life begins at conception.
Life begins at conception. Life begins at conception. Life begins at conception. Life begins at conception. Life begins at conception. Life begins at conception. Life begins at conception.
Xinyi, so happy to have you here today. Thank you for being part of our film festival. I loved your film. I've got so many questions. But for those that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
Hi, Kindling is about how two old friends reconnect when one drives the other to get an abortion.
It's such a engaging story of this, relationship, which is, obviously got a lot of depth to it, and then covers a topic of, which many people may know someone who has been through that circumstances, if not been through it themselves. Where did the kind of inspiration come for you in deciding to tell this story?
I think it all comes from my memories of my female relationships. Because I think I feel I think there are like two parts of it. One part is women go through different biological stages almost every month because of the hormone level changes, and these things would change our emotions, and bigger things like pregnancy and abortion that would cause bigger hormone level changes, and these stages could make us more sensitive about our emotions and our relationships with people who are close to us. So I wanted to tell a story when a crucial relationship develops during that stage of time for a woman.
Yeah,
and
oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry, Xinyi.
Oh, no worries. Also, I haven't been speaking English very often, so my English has been a little broken. I'm trying to organize my words.
Hey, you're brilliant. No, don't even worry. Your English is amazing. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you made this story, because certainly I've got people close to me that have been through this experience, and it's an experience that no one can know what they go through unless they've been through it. But on top of that, I think it's also important to articulate, like you just said, of what women experience every single month and all those hormonal changes. And I think that's also a subject that a lot of men need to educate themselves upon as well. I think you captured the story so beautifully, for a very difficult subject. And I thought the acting was really fantastic. You could really feel this depth of a relationship. Tell us a little bit about bringing your cast together, and how do you work as a director with kind of sensitive subjects like this too?
When we did casting, it was totally open casting, except I really wanted two women who look like sisters. It was so open that like we were ready to change because we basically had more of like the the bones of the structures of the story, and we were willing to change the script and the story according to our cast. So when we did casting, like the first round was like through a casting director, and we got some tapes and we met with some actors, and then we weighed more heavily on the pairing them up parts, because I think I think I wanted to cast more of a chemistry and a partnership more than just casting two actresses to play two parts. The other question was,
yeah, no, in relation to that, yeah, you did it really well. I thought you casted so well. They worked well together. What's your kind of like, you know, your process as a director, like working with your actors with these subjects? Like, is there improvisation? Do you have rehearsal? Like, what's your process in also attacking these subjects as well?
First of all, I think casting is really important. Like, if casting doesn't work, then like none of the next steps would work. And these two actors, actually, they work very differently. Jill, who played Piper, was more well-trained, and she does improvisation really, really well. And Nicole, she was a freshman year student in literature, and she didn't have lots of acting experiences, but she had like such good, what's the word?
Energy, kind of like, or
like the ability to understand something without anybody having to explain it too much.
Yeah,
like she just gets it.
Yeah.
What's that word?
I know, I'm thinking, I'm losing it myself, but I know exactly what you're trying to say.
Yeah. So they work differently, and so I spent lots of time talking with them as a person, as a friend, and knowing their own experiences, and I would share my experiences. And I totally wouldn't mind if sometimes like our experiences kind of just get mixed up with the characters' experiences, and as long as these memories can be used by them to create the characters. And so maybe we did like a couple of hours of talking during over more than one session. And because I made this film through USC, and the school required us to spread out the shooting dates over 4 weekends. So we have to shoot a little bit every weekend. So I thought that was not a good idea for the emotional trip for the two characters. So I kind of decided that we, if we could, we meet every week, once or even twice. Even if we don't rehearse, we just chat, we just hang out, and we don't get, another word that I forget, we keep the familiarity,
momentum going. You know, I'm so glad that you did that, Xinyi, because it honestly really showed in the film. Like I so believed in this relationship and the you know, it was amazing. And so, you know, the techniques that you've used to build those characters together, I mean, it really, really did work. What would you say was some of the bigger challenges that you had in making the film?
It's been like more than a year since we shot it. So I kind of forget about like how we lost the locations, and then I think we lost like 4 locations.
Oh no.
Like it was crazy. Like it totally drove us crazy. But it's been so long that I don't really remember.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, because the crew was so fun, and yeah, everybody was amazing. So like even if there were misfortunes from like the outside world, we were together making the thing.
Well,
I
that's
think
good.
Yeah, there were things like we were not able to shoot because it was a stick shift car, and Joe couldn't drive a stick shift, so we never shot any scene with her driving the car. And it was very dangerous to shoot Nicole in the car, even if someone else is driving as well. So we don't have any of that either when the car is moving. And we didn't want, like, I didn't feel it made sense to change any car scenes to night scenes. So we just kind of cheated the whole thing.
It worked.
Yeah, I really worried about that. Yeah, a road-ish movie without driving, without seeing the characters driving.
It's brilliant. You fooled us. It was good. It was really good. You know, I mean, it was so, I also love just the intimacy of the conversation. You know, it was just nice just to sort of see this real talk, you know, and there's a real history here, and they've obviously been through things together, and you know, this situation has brought them together. And I just thought the capturing of the intimacy of just talking to each other as human beings was really captivating. I was thinking as well, like just how desperately hard it was for someone who is going to get an abortion, having to face that sort of, you know, protest backlash that was right there. How was it shooting that scene? Because it was very powerful, you know, watching her go into, you know, go and have this, you know, go and meet with a doctor and have this, and have that outside at the same time.
Right, yeah. Shooting it felt like, because obviously none of the actors supported what they were talking about when they were shouting out these slogans.
Yeah.
Like having to, like these actors, they arrive at the place and then we chat, and then they get into makeup and costumes, and then they just switch into different people. And that scenario was a little unreal and a little intimidating because it felt too real.
Yeah.
So it was not comfortable to do it, but I kind of like through talking to Nicole, like we just talk about, like, kind of like intensify the situation even more in her head, how hard and harder than what it seems to be, that the character would feel when she goes through that. And Because we separated the scenes to different weekends. So like almost before shooting every weekend, it's kind of cruel for the mental side, but
Yeah.
like Nicole and I would go through like the procedures, the actual procedures that are not shown in the movie. There's the talking, the paperwork, and the actual surgery. We would go through all the details of it, according to which part of the movie that we're shooting. But like every time going through these steps, like I could feel the pain, and I know that would help Nicole because she could help feel the pain too. Yeah, so we did a lot of kind of building the psychology part
Yeah.
of work.
I love the attention to detail that you took, because I think going the extra mile really, you know, carried in the emotion and what she was going through. You know, it really came across so vividly. And I'm just curious, like, you know, certainly, what did you kind of want? Like, I know you've probably been putting this around to different film festivals. I know it's a while ago now that you obviously shot this, but like, what did you kind of want your audience to take from your film?
I think the biggest thing is I want people to see the ambiguity in human relationships. And I can't speak for male relationships because I'm not a male, but all I feel about female relationships is that the boundaries could be blurred. The relationship and the emotions between these two women in Kindling, it's something, it's definitely friendship. There's some romance in it. There's a lot of family in it because of their history. And they hate each other, and there are so many things all together at the same time going on in their relationship. These are not things that like kind of like these are like the relationship doesn't change between these categories, but like everything blended together.
Yeah.
And I feel that's how women relationships work. And I don't like putting labels onto female relationships, especially in representations in film and TV and media. But I see a lot of that in like in films, like
Yeah.
These two women, they are this, they are that.
Yeah.
But I just don't think things work that way. I
No, I
Yeah, a lot
agree.
of my like my closest female friends, our relationships are intimate, are complicated. And I know a lot of my female friends, they share with me their experiences too. Yeah,
No,
so
I love that you say that, and I think it's such a, you know, there's too much kind of, you know, labels and sort of one dimensional kind of, you know, relationships, or at least what we see in life isn't like that. And I think you're so
right.
great in just not putting the labels on there and having all these layers, because as human beings we have layers. And you know, you articulated that really well. What is next that you're working on, thinking about doing? What is next for you, Xinyi?
I'm actually writing a short um about how two young people connect in a this special, how do I translate that? It's not the countryside, it's this part of geography. It's inside the city, but like
Like a suburb?
right. Not really. It looks like a suburb. It works like a suburb. It's like things are a lot cheaper there. Like
Okay.
houses are a lot more like older and
Yeah.
homemade, but it's
Gotcha.
right in the hearts of the city.
Oh, nice.
But they are like very functional little organisms. Yeah, they function by themselves, but a lot of they were built by people who came into the city decades ago, but then these people move out and they rent out the houses to people who come into the city to get like small jobs to support themselves and their families from the suburb. And people who live there, I think it's a very special community. And I'm writing about this guy who works in a factory, but he loves poetry.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm like literally writing today.
Oh, good.
And,
Okay. Well,
and just now.
listen,
So
we
yeah,
can't stop the creative flow for you, Xinyi. That's not good. But listen, I'm so glad you brought this film to us, and I really do love how much attention you pay to, you know, very important details and characters and relationship and subjects, and I really think it's been a joy to have you, and I'm so looking forward to being part of the film festival. But thanks so much for bringing your film to us. We're looking forward to it, and thank you very much for joining us today, live from Shanghai. How cool.
thank you.